some understanding of. And we request that everyone, by the permission of Allah, who will participate in this class, they refer back to the muqaddimah, the introduction that we have given 2 weeks ago to this lesson. And from that which we had mentioned, in studying the Arabic language, just like studying other matters of ad-din, any matter that one studies regarding the religion of al-Islam and that which is associated with this beautiful religion, it is important, it is incumbent that one has sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because first and foremost, this is ibadah, this is worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In every act of worship which the slave implements, it's a must that there are two conditions that are fulfilled. For one, al-ikhlas, sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And secondly, that one has al-mutaba'ah. They follow the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding that act of worship, whatever that act of worship may be. When one studies the Arabic language and they start to understand matters of the deen, they will be happy, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, with that which Allah has enlightened them with. But it is important to know that it's fadl, it's virtues from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that one gains of understanding is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is a must that one has sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding this virtue, this fadl that Allah has bestowed upon. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us, making clear, He said, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ. They have not been commanded except to worship Allah. Sincere to Him is Islamic monotheism. Meaning, al-ikhlas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the servant with ikhlas. So we want to emphasize this fact, this very important matter, and know that in this book that we study, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, it's very important to know that there are matters that will come up or rise that have to be clarified. So it's important that everyone is patient with that which we are learning. And if there are any questions pertaining to that which is being shared, it is important for the hand to be raised, and everyone, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, will have the opportunity to have their concerns addressed. But it's important to wait until the lesson is fully presented, and then bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, at the end we will try to give time for those who have questions regarding that which has been presented, in case there is a need, in case there's some type of need of clarification. But we would like to start, and we ask that you all be patient. As me personally, I'm not very familiar with Zoom, but I heard that this is one of the best social media outlets to share with numerous brothers and sisters matters, and this is one way of distant learning. So we ask that everyone's patient while we explore the proper means as how to convey this message in this fashion, by the permission of Allah. So we will intend, inshallah, to share our screen at certain times to share that which is being presented. And we ask that everyone is patient regarding this matter. Gradually, we will add to what is being shared. For one, we'll share the book on the screen, but we request that everyone has their own personal copies of the book, and they write down and they take notes. And if there's any questions, they write down the questions or the concerns. And by the permission of Allah, inshallah, at the end of the lesson, we will try to the best of our ability to address that which concerns everyone. But like I mentioned, this is something new for me, so we request that everyone is patient with the process. Inshallah, as time goes, inshallah, within another week or so, we will become more comfortable with this process of using Zoom. Inshallah, we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it is of great benefit to everyone. So first and foremost, barakallahu feekum, we would like to bring up the book and share the book. I'm going to share screen the book for everyone, inshallah, for the benefit of all. So just one moment, please. Okay. Okay. Does everyone see on the screen the book? If someone can unmute themselves and
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. طيب. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This book, the Arabic lesson, is called دروس اللغة العربية. دروس اللغة العربية لغير ناطقين بها. The Arabic course for English-speaking students. Originally devised and taught at Medina University by Dr. V. Abdul Rahim, rahimahullah. And this book, دروس اللغة العربية لغير ناطقين بها, this is a very important book that is well known around the world in different societies. And we enjoy going through this book for numerous reasons. For one, because of how popular the book is with many طلاب العلم that have studied in the Jamia and Medina University and other students of knowledge. They turn to this book because of the easy way of presentation. And it's very important whenever studying a book that you take the most easiest comprehensive route in comprehending what is being taught and what is in the text. To simplify the lessons are very important. To make it easier for everyone to benefit is very important. So we will take this method of trying to make the lesson as easy as possible, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, without delving too much into those comprehensive matters or those complex matters that the average person may not pick up that easy. So first and foremost, here it says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It says, الدرس الأول. الدرس الأول. الدرس means the lesson. الأول, this الأول is what is called a sifa. It's an attribute. It's a description of a dars, meaning it's the first dars. In English, we have the adjective comes prior to that thing which is being described. In Arabic, it's the opposite. In English, we say the first lesson. You say the first lesson, but in Arabic, we say the lesson first. So this basically means the first lesson. Here, al-awwal is an adjective for the word ad-dars. And as you see, the adjective comes directly after the thing it's describing. And take note that this adjective, the word al-awwal, it has an alif and a lam, just as the word ad-dars has an alif and a lam. Notice that this word al-awwal, it has a dhamma at the end of it. The same applies to that which it is describing. The word al-awwal is describing the word ad-dars. The word ad-dars has a dhamma on top of the sin. So this is one of the lessons that will come in the near future, but we point this out for the comprehension of that which we are about to start, which is ad-darsul awwal. Ad-darsul awwal. Now keep in mind that this is al-alif. This is an alif, or some would say al-wahid. Some would say this is al-wahid. And this is bain al-qawsayn in parentheses. So ad-darsul awwal, the first lesson. The first lesson is pertaining to what is called ism ishara. This hadha is called ism ishara. We're going to explain further what is ism ishara in the near future. Hadha, what is hadha? Hadha basically means this. And the word hadha is used whenever you're describing something that is close, masculine, and singular. Whenever you're describing something that's close, you use this ha, the. Ha, describes something that is close, singular, and masculine. So if you're describing something that is far, you would not use hadha, even if it is singular. If you're describing something that is close, but it's feminine, you would not use hadha. If you're describing something that is plural, even if it's close, even if it's masculine, you will not use hadha. Why? Because hadha is specifically for something which is close, masculine, and singular. Now, when I mention issues like this, it's very important for everyone that's tending to the lesson to take note. Maybe we will open up the screen and we'll see a name of one of the people who are attending. We'll call on that particular name of that individual, requesting that they give us a particular answer. So we want this to be understood. That ism ishara, okay. Ism ishara, like I said, brothers, you have to be patient with me. I'm learning how to deal with the screen. Ism ishara is for something that is close, singular, and masculine. Let me pull that up again. Well, here we go. So here in this lesson, it says hadha. This ha, they call this ha at-tanbih. Inshallah, in the near future, we're going to have a screen. After I practice how to use the screen, inshallah, we're going to have a screen, inshallah, and I will write down certain terms for easy comprehension, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But for the time being, try to bear in there with me and be patient. This section right here, this ha here, this ha is called ha at-tanbih. Ha at-tanbih. What is ha at-tanbih? You use ha at-tanbih when you're getting someone's attention. Say ha. People say ha. When they say ha, they're normally trying to grasp the attention of someone that may be looking the other way or may not be conscious or fully focused on what is being said. So you use ha to grasp someone's attention. Say ha, that. Ha, that. If you was to use the word that without ha, it would suffice. To say ha, that is correct, or to say that is correct. Because the ism ishara is specifically in this term that. This that implies what? That you're calling on something that, or you're calling or mentioning something that is, for one, singular, two, masculine, three, close. So here we have هذا بيت. هذا بيت. Now everyone, we request that everyone reads along within to themselves that which is being said. That which we're reading, we want you to memorize every sentence by the permission of Allah. Memorize every sentence which we take in this book, because memorizing is a very important aspect of learning the Arabic language. The term hada, when you use hada, what does it mean? It means this. It's that basic. It's that easy. Hada means this. So when do you say this? When do you say hada? You say hada when you're directing something or speaking about something that is, for one, singular, masculine, two, three, close. Your point is almost like you're pointing to something that is close, that's masculine, and it's singular. As an example, if I wanted to point it to a house, I say, هذا بيت, and I'm pointing to a close house. I wouldn't point to a house that's across the street and say هذا بيت. No, I say هذا بيت for a house which is close by. Maybe someone may think that this house is a business or that this house is a madrasa. So I would say هذا بيت to make it clear what this building is. So the word baytun is, for one, it's not just close, because I'm using the word hada, that's how we know it's close. But the word baytun is masculine. The word baytun is singular. It's singular. It's not plural, because the plural for baytun is buyutun. If I wanted to point to a group of houses which are close, I would not say هذا بيوت. I would say هذه بيوت. And this lesson, inshallah, will come in the near future. So we say هذا بيت. Now, when I say a sentence similar to how I'm saying it now, everyone should be saying it to themselves. Everyone should be saying it to themselves. The next sentence, هذا مسجد. هذا مسجد. هذا مسجد. The word masjidun is, for one, it's masculine. For two, it's singular, because we know the plural for masjid is masajid. So the word masjidun is singular. Now, why are we using the word hada? This word hada implies that the masjid is close. If the masjid is across the street or across town, we will not say hada masjidun. If it's on the other side of the street or a few blocks down the street, we would not use hada. We would use a different ism ishara. We would use dhalika masjidun. In this lesson, inshallah, with regards to dhalika and hadihi and the other asma ishara, inshallah, will come in the near future. So this is a very important thing to keep in mind. When you use hada, You use it for something that's singular, masculine, and close. When you use hada, use it for something which is singular, masculine, and close. I trust in Allah that's understood. The same applies with this. Hada babun. Babun means door. This is a door. Allah yubarak fikum. We say hada babun. Hada babun. The same applies with these other words. All of these pictures, all of these are pictures of nouns which are masculine. Here, هذا كتاب. هذا كتاب. Now notice that here you see this med right here. I have the med in the middle of the circle. That's called a med. So if someone was to say hada, it's incorrect. If someone was to say hada, that's incorrect. Why? Because this med right here. We say hada. So this med right here, this elongation, is similar to this. You elongate it for 2 counts. Hada. If someone was to say hada, it's incorrect. If someone was to say hada, that's incorrect. The correct way of saying is hada. Hada. Kitabun. Hada. Kitabun. Now, if one was to say the baytun, there's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because this ha is ha at tanbih. Ha at tanbih. It's just highly recommended. And it's permissible to use it with ism ishara. But it's not obligatory. It's not something that it's a must when you use ism ishara. Because realistically, it's not originally from the ism ishara. Rather, the ism ishara is in the. So if someone was to say the baytun, it's correct. If someone was to say the masjidun, means this is a masjid. Someone was to say the babun, meaning this is a door. So if you say hada babun, means this is a door. But they use the ha to grasp the attention of the one who they're speaking to. So the same applies with hada kitabun. You can say the kitabun, or you can say hada kitabun. Naam. So this sentence here after is hada qalamun. You can say the qalamun, or you can say hada qalamun. Naam. Meaning this is a pen. Now notice at the end of the word baytun is a dhammatain. The same applies with masjidun is a dhammatain. Same with babun dhammatain, meaning a house. This is a house. This is a masjid. This is a door. A door. Meaning it's an indefinite. The form of it is indefinite, not a definite article. Hada babun. This is a door. Hada kitabun. This is a book. Hada qalamun. This is a pen. Hada miftahun. This is a key. It's a very old school key. Nobody uses these types of keys anymore for the most part, but it's a key. Hada miftahun. And remember, when you read, you try to enunciate each letter properly. You don't say hada kalamun. Ka is pronouncing it with a kaf. You say hada qa, qa, qalamun. You don't say qala mun. You say qala, qala. It's very important to enunciate the words properly. Try to pronounce the letters properly. There are numerous letters. As you all know, everyone should have studied the makharij al-huruf, the letters, the each letter, and being able to properly pronounce words are very important, essential to participating in this lesson. Being able to have understanding of basic reading is one of the prerequisites of studying this book. being able to basically be able to read. It doesn't have to be perfect, but having a basic understanding. So we would encourage, if someone finds within themselves they're struggling a little bit with reading, but they can read, practice a lot. Practice reading a lot. As an example, after today, after we finish with our lesson, take time out to read. Read it over again. Say hada baytun. Say it over and over again. Hada baytun, hada baytun, hada baytun, until it becomes easy on your tongue. Then go to the next. Hada masjidun, hada masjidun, hada masjidun, until it becomes very easy to pronounce. And then hada babun, hada babun, hada bab. Say it over and over again. Maybe some words are heavy on the tongue because this is not our native language. But the more you practice, the more you read, the more easier it will be. And not just being able to properly read, but also memorizing the words. And I'm telling you all this today uh, purposely, because if you start out memorizing, practicing, reading a lot early on, by the permission of Allah, later on, it will be easy for you to use everything that you have memorized. Because this Arabic language is about learning and memorizing and then implementing that which you have learned and memorized. And more you practice that which you have learned, the easier it will be. Because everything piles up. This is a foundation. All of this is a foundation. It repeats itself. If you have a strong foundation, like every lesson that one takes, especially in the beginning, it's like a foundation to a building. If you have a strong foundation, then you can build strong walls on top of that foundation and have a good understanding of the Arabic language. So it's very important from the beginning to practice. هذا كتاب. هذا كتاب. Say it. And then you're looking at a book in front of you and you're pointing to that book and you're saying هذا كتاب. So you remember, if you want to say this is a book, that is what you say. هذا قلم. هذا قلم. You say it over and over again, properly pronouncing it. قلم. هذا قلم. This is a pen. هذا مفتاح. هذا مفتاح. You repeat it over and over again until it becomes easy. You don't have to think for a minute or two or three. How do you say key in Arabic? Because you've practiced it. You've said it so many times. This is a key. هذا قلم. This is a key. هذا قلم. Like that. The same applies to other words and other sentences. This is هذا مكتب. This is a desk. هذا مكتب. This is a desk. You say it over and over again until you've mastered pronouncing it properly. هذا مكتب. هذا مكتب. And you take your time. هذا مكتب. هذا مكتب. You may find some words are a little more difficult to say than others. So you take your time. You try to pronounce it properly. And if you question how you're saying it, someone who understands the Arabic language better than you, have them assist you. Say, am I saying this sentence right? هذا مكتب. Is that correct? They say, نعم أحسنت. Good job. نعم. So here, هذا سرير. Now, all of these words, remember, all of these words are, for one, the word مكتب is singular. The word مكتب is masculine. The word مكتب, when you use هذا, know that you're pointing to a desk that is close. So you said هذا مكتب. This is a desk. هذا سرير. This is a bed. هذا كرسي. This is a chair. You say it over and over again. هذا كرسي. هذا كرسي. هذا كرسي. Until you are comfortable saying it. And you repeat all of them over again. هذا بيت. هذا مسجد. And you can say it with me along right now, with as long as you're muted. هذا باب. هذا كتاب. هذا قلم. هذا مفتاح. هذا مكتب. هذا سرير. هذا كرسي. We trust in Allah this is understood. We trust in Allah this is understood. And inshallah, we will review this bi'idhnillahi ta'ala tomorrow. The next lesson, barakallahu fikum, on page number 7. I believe this is page number 6. The next lesson on page number 6 is regarding what is called the next lesson is pertaining to using hada, but when you want to question someone about something which is non-human. They call this ma al-istifhamiyya, the ma of questioning regarding something that is non-human, meaning a non-human object. You use ma. You use ma. Ma means what? Hada means this. You're basically saying ma hada. What is this? Regarding something that is, for one, masculine, 2, singular, 3, close. So you don't say ma hada if you're pointing to a girl named Fatima as an example. A little girl named Fatima, you say ma hada. That's wrong. Because Fatima is a girl. You don't use hada. You say ma. You won't use. So for one, you don't use hada, ma hada, for any human. You don't use ma hada for any human. This ma is for non-human objects. If you want to point to a notebook would be daftar. You say ma hada. If you want to point to a book, kitabun, you say ma hada. You say hada kitabun. What is this? This is a book. Huh? So the word ma, this word ma is used to ask about a thing which is non-human, any non-human object. And hada, as we have taken, is used for anything masculine, anything masculine. So ma, they call this ma al-istifhamiyya. Ma and seeking understanding. The ma of seeking, or the ma of requesting understanding. And hada is this an ishara, for one, as we mentioned, for something that's singular, 2, masculine, 3, close. So here we have it. We have this. This is called alamatul istifham. This is called a question mark. Alama means a sign. Alama. Not alama, but alama. Alama means ayah, meaning a sign. Alamatul istifham means the question mark, the mark of questioning. And as we notice, it's in the opposite direction of what we know of a question mark to be. And they did not use these in the Arabic language historically. They did not use these alamatul istifham, these types of markings like question mark, or as we have here, we have a period. Huh? We didn't have this historically in the Arabic language. However, with the spreading of Islam throughout the world and many people who were not from Arabic descent learning the Arabic language, they use certain terms so it could be help with the education of the Muslim masses who were learning the Arabic language. So they integrated or innovated in the teaching of the Arabic language these signs in order for a person, as soon as they look at a sentence, they will know that this sentence is a question. And speech is of two types. Speech is of two types. They mention that speech is of two types. For one, you have speech which is called khabariya, meaning speech where you're coming with news, you're coming with information. And you have speech which is talabiya, khabariya and talabiya. You have speech which is khabariya, which is a sentence that someone may say when they're informing you of something. They're coming with some type of news, regardless if you know it or not. They're informing you of something. And the second type is talabiya, which one is coming and they're requesting something from you. They're asking you a question. All speech is of one of these two categories. Anytime someone speaks, they're either informing you of something or saying something to you, regardless if you've heard about it before or not, or they are informing you of something, or they're requesting something from you. So whenever you have a sentence where it ends off with this is a sentence which is a sentence talabiyah, where they're asking you a question. It's a question. It's a su'al. Ma hada. Su'al means a question. It's a ma hada. Everyone should repeat it within the self. Ma hada. When one says this, they're saying, what is this? Ma hada. What is this? So we don't say ma hada regarding a person. Regarding a thing, we'd say ma hada. So we say ma hada. Why? Because this ma is used for non-human objects. You say ma hada. What is this? Now here we have it. Ma hada. Ma hada. And then the person comes with the answer. Hada baytun. Hada baytun. Ahada baytun here. This is called Hamzatul Istifham. We're going to repeat these, inshallah. We're going to write it down also. We're going to give you all the definition of each thing. Inshallah, don't worry. But this is the first lesson. We do not want to overwhelm anyone with writing anything down. We just want you to understand what you're being taught. So this ma is called ma al-istifham, the ma of questioning. You use this for non-human objects when you want to ask a question about anything, regardless if it is masculine or feminine. You may say ma hada, you may say ma hadihi, huh? You may say, what is this? Regarding something that's masculine, you say ma hada. Regarding something that's masculine, you could also use ma for something that is not masculine, something that is feminine. You say ma hadihi for something feminine. This lesson comes in the near future, inshallah. So when someone says ma hada, utilize this. This is a new sentence that you have. When you're at the masjid or you're at home speaking to your wife, or speaking to someone that you care about, you can pick up something. As an example, pick up a pen, hold it in your hand, and ask them, "Ma hada?" And then the person will respond. They say, "Hada qalamun." Remember, that's the lesson that we just had. As an example, they will ask, "Ma hada?" You say, "Hada qalamun." Then you pick up a book. You say, "Ma hada?" They say, "Hada kitabun." Then you grab your key. You say, "Ma hada?" Then you say هذا مفتاح. Then you point to the chair. You say ما هذا. They say هذا كرسي. At the masjid, brothers should utilize the new sentences that you learn. At home, you should utilize the new sentences that you have learned. You point to the bed. You say ما هذا. And the person you're speaking to, they say هذا سرير. هذا سرير. It's important to memorize each one of these words, each one of these terms. You point to the desk and you say, ما هذا, because ma is for non-human. Say, ما هذا. The person will say, هذا مكتب. هذا مكتب. We trust in Allah, this is understood. So here we have ma for questioning. And as we mentioned, ma is used for non-human. You don't say ma hada pointing to a boy or pointing to a man. He may be insulted. You're talking about, what is this? I'm pointing into a man saying, what is this? You don't use ma for humans. In general, when you want to ask about someone, you use man with a noon, man, as we're going to take. You say man hada for a man. And for a female, you say man hadihi. For a male, you say man hada, as we're going to take it in their future. So here we use ma for non-human objects. When questioning about something, say ma hada. Say hada baytun. Now here, this is hamzatul istifham. Hamzatul istifham, mean the hamza of seeking fahim, of seeking understanding. When do we use this? When you want to ask a question about something, and someone is going to answer with na'am or la. This is when you use hamzatul istifham. Here, ahada baytun. It's a question. Is this a house? So the person, when they answer it, they're going to either answer with na'am or la. Whenever using hamzatul istifham, when the person answers, they're going to either say na'am or la. Here, he says na'am, hada baytun. He says, hada baytun? That's hada baytun? He says na'am, hada baytun. Hada baytun? Says na'am. He answers na'am, hada baytun. It sufficed him to just say na'am. It's enough if someone asks hada baytun for the person to respond na'am. But being that this is a book gearing the student to speak more and not just use simple terms to say na'am or la, they're saying na'am hada baytun. And this is very helpful. Why? Because when a person is learning, they're encouraged to speak more, even though it sufficed the person answering to just say na'am. Because he's answering in affirming that this is a house. Say na'am, hada baytun. Yes, this is a house. Yes, this is a house. طيب. So in the next lesson, in the next section, he says, ma hada. Another question. What is this? Then the person answers, هذا قميص. This is a قميص. هذا قميص. هذا قميص. This is a shirt. نعم. Now the next sentence. أهذا سرير? Is this a bed? أهذا سرير? They're asking about this. أهذا سرير? Then he answers, لا هذا كرسي. لا هذا كرسي. Everyone should be saying these sentences. It says لا هذا كرسي. Now, when one answers affirming to be correct, that which the person asked, here as an example, is هذا بيت. He says نعم. He did not have to say na'am hadha baytun. It was enough to just say na'am. But here, when they asked ahadha sarirun, it was important after saying la, meaning negating it. It's not a sarir. It's not a bed. After he said la, it was important for him to tell him what it was. So he says la, hadha kursiyun. He didn't want to just say la and leave the person, for to assume what it may be or wondering what it is. So he makes it clear. He says la, hadha kursiyun. We trust in Allah. This is understood. So here, ahadha. Now we mentioned hamza huna. What is this called? What is this hamza called? This is called hamzatul istifham, the hamza of seeking understanding. Meaning you use this when you're coming with a question where someone is to answer na'am aw la. They use hamzatul istifham when the person is answering na'am or la. Right? So it asks, ahadha miftahun? Ahadha miftahun? Then the person answers, la. Hadha qalamun. La. Hadha qalamun. Says, no, this is a pen. Is this a key? Hadha miftahun? Memorize the words. Ahadha miftahun? Practice miftahun. Some a'ajam, some non-Arab, this word is a little difficult because it has that alif and then the ha. Mif. And then there's a kasra here. Miftahun. Ahada miftahun? The answer is la. Hada qalamun. Hada qalamun. So we trust in Allah that is understood. Then he answers, ma hada. Say hada najmun. Of course, if the najm, if the star is in the sky, they would not say ma hada. Of course, if it's in the sky, you would not say ma hada. But if it's written down, or maybe if it's a star, which is a sticker or something of this nature, they say ma hada. They say hada najmun. Why would they not say ma hada if it's in the sky? Because we do not use hada for anything which is far. We do not use hada for anything which is far. We use hada for what? For something which is close. Singular. Masculine, close. So we say hada najmun. Hada najmun. This is a star. This is a star. We trust in Allah that this is understood. We trust in Allah that this is understood. Tayyib. What we want to do now, barakallahu fikum, is we want to open the floor for anyone that may have concerns, because here, barakallahu fikum, we have Salat al-Asr coming in. System has stopped due to you. You have stopped the screen sharing. Go to application. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You are with me? Can everyone hear me?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes, Sheikh, we hear you.
Allah yubarak fikum. Tayyib. Thus far, what we have taken, mashallah, khairat. I do not want to overwhelm anyone, but we starting off very basic, and I want to make sure that everything is understood, because here we have Salat al-Asr coming in, and subhanallah, time flies when you're having fun. And I looked up and we have 5 minutes, but I wanted to know, is there any questions? If there's a question, I would like the mic to be opened up to any of our brothers. If there are any sisters that have questions, we prefer that they do not speak on the group, with all due respect, that they send their questions in, and we will answer them, inshallah, in the beginning of the next lesson, if there are any questions. Are there any questions regarding that which we've taken? Tafaddal. You could open your mic, brother. Okay. Okay.
Whoever wants to open, whoever asks a question, they can unmute their mic.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if they can unmute their mic themselves. If you can unmute
Yes.
yeah. If you can.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, just the question. You said that you can't use that for human, but can you use it in the senses of ahada? Like, can I say ahada ghulam, ahada something?
You can use Hamzat al-Istifham. Yes, you can use Hamzat al-Istifham, but ma, you do not use ma for humans. You can say ahada ghulamun. Yes, ahada ghulam, meaning is this a boy? Yes, you can use that. You can say that. Perfect sentence. Perfect question.
Okay,
Now let me ask you a question.
okay.
When someone is answering you, how would they answer?
نعم هذا غلام.
Exactly. Is it necessary for them to say هذا غلام, or is it sufficient for them to say نعم?
نعم is sufficient, right?
Right. It's sufficient to say نعم. It's not necessary for them to say نعم هذا غلام. أحسنت. بارك الله فيك.
وياكم آمين. جزاك الله خير شيخ.
وإياكم. Any other questions? Is that it? I request that everyone reviews that which we have taken. The homework is to review that which we have taken with proficiency.
جزاكم الله خيرا شيخنا، بارك فيكم وكتب أجركم.
آمين وأنتم كذلك. بارك الله فيكم.
الله يحفظكم.
إن شاء الله خير. إن شاء الله غدا إن شاء الله في نفس الوقت إن شاء الله. Well, there's one more question. تفضل عبد الحميد. He's asking, can he be unmuted? They don't have the ability to unmute themselves. I'm going to learn how to deal with this, inshallah. Unmute.
I just remembered, Sheikh, at the beginning you said, I kind of missed it because I was driving, but you were saying that, like, when you said hada, when you introduced the hada without the alif in the middle, what was the difference? So, like, can I say hada bayt, or what's the difference when I say hada baytun?
You can say هذا بيت. You can say ذا بيت. Is that what you're speaking about? When I said, when I mentioned with the ha at 10b, you can use the ha at 10b, or you can take it off. You can say ذا بيت. You can say ذا بيت. It's fasih. It's eloquent. Just say ذا بيت.
That's not what I mean, Sheikh. I mean, like, can I say like hada bayt, like without the alif, the little small alif? I forgot what you called it.
The dhammatain.
No, like when you say hada, but at the beginning, right in the beginning, it was just when you first showed it, it was like there was no alif in the top. It was just like hada. It was like you say it small, like hada, instead of hada.
Some people will say hada baytun. Hada. They will not say hada. They will not elongate the ha. Yeah, this is incorrect because the ha, it has an alif there. That squiggly line is a med. That's an elongation. You elongate it to 2 counts. So if someone wants to say hada, someone say hada baytun, that's incorrect. It's hada baytun. Hada baytun. Naam.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, jazakallah khair.
وإياكم. So you can say hada baytun, or you can say ذا baytun. Now, but if you say hada baytun, it's incorrect because it's not hada. There's an alif after the ha. But they made a squiggly line there to let you know there's an elongation. It's an alif which is pronounced, but it's not written. يعني تنطق ولا تكتب. It's pronounced, but it's not written. تفضل.
Okay. جزاkallah khair.
وإياكم. بارك الله. Is there anything else? Any other questions? This evening, inshallah, there's a simple request of homework to read each one of those sections and practice what we have taken and be ready, inshallah, for the lesson tomorrow, inshallah.
نعم جزاكم الله خيرا.
والله يبارك فيكم. إلى هنا، سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، واستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بارك الله فيك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته يا شيخنا.
الله يبارك.